Question here from Sulklat. What is your favorite part of playing Nightwing? That's a good question. My favorite part of playing Nightwing would have to be the fighting. The physical demands for me learning martial arts, in particular Kali sticks, and doing those big elaborate Nightwing fight scenes. They're my favorite. Great question here from Corey X West. How does Dick develop as a leader in season 3 compared to 1 and 2? Well, 1 and 2 we see him, season 1 we see him leave Gotham, leave Bruce Wayne, and basically kind of leave the nest and go out on his own, and in that search for identity. And season 2 we see him kind of drop the Robin suit and explore with this Nightwing, with his new superhero, which is Nightwing. And season 1 and 2 is kind of filled with flaws. He's not perfect. He makes mistakes. He's kind of learning as he goes along. And season 3 we see him confidently step into that role. He has a little bit more of a clear insight into his morals and into how he's going to fight crime and what he's going to do. Question here from XX Erica _Fusco or Fusco. What is your most recent hobby? My most recent hobby would have to be, I should have thought about this before I started filming. I do have a bookshelf of books that I have not read, which I'm trying to turn into a hobby. I'll show you. Let's see. Haven't read. So that's my hobby at the moment, is getting through this bookshelf before season 4. I'm hoping there's a season 4. What was it like switching from Robin to Nightwing? From Marvel _Jordan 16. It's a good question. The biggest difference that you'll see in season 3 is that Dick Grayson is a leader. He's found his confidence in leading the Titans. He has kind of stepped into the role of Nightwing, not only as a confident force, as a confident fighting physical force, but also as the intellectual leader that he has always wanted to be. So the change from Robin to Nightwing is really that of an identity search, and in season 3 Dick Grayson finds that identity and finds the confidence in Nightwing to approach crime in a different way. Describe this season in 3 words, from Die Loves. Thank you, Die Loves. In 3 words. Returning, confronting, overcoming. Returning home, confronting your fears and your demons, and overcoming the villains is what I was thinking of. Thank you for that, Die Loves. What kind of music do you think Dick would listen to in his free time? From Carol LCS _. That's a good question. Let's have a look. I think he would be listening to this. To some Fleetwood Mac. Or maybe you know what he would be listening to? He would be listening to this, for sure. Aretha's Greatest Hits. Good question. I mean, in short, he would be listening to what Brenton Thwaites listens to, which is Aretha Franklin, Ray Charles, Percy Sledge. Yep. Good question here from Cameron MCC01. How long does it take to suit up? It's a good question. At the beginning, it took anywhere from 20 minutes to 40 minutes. With the Robin suit, obviously, it's a little bit longer because we have a belt, we have a chest plate. First, we do the mask, and everything kind of follows from there. So, with the Nightwing suit, it's all one. It's a one piece. So, I step into makeup and do my mask, and that takes about 15 minutes. And then I step into costume, and to put on my suit takes about 15 minutes. So about half an hour all up. What was your favorite part of filming Titans? From alayars_unique.beauty. My favorite part of filming Titans. I'll assume you're talking about season 3. My favorite part of shooting Titans season 3 was in the woods. We did a fight scene in the woods. I think it was episode 4, and it was a Red Hood versus Nightwing fight, and there was something very Nolan-esque about it. It kind of it reminded me of that fight between Christian Bale and Liam Neeson on the ice in Batman Begins. Just, kind of mixing a superhero with a supervillain in a very picturesque place was really exciting. And I haven't seen the fight yet. I'm sure it looks amazing. But I was always excited about the cinematic aspect of that fight. So that was kind of my favorite part of shooting season 3. Great question here from Jay Fellow. Do you think Nightwing could take Batman in a fight? Yes. Yes, I do. Although it's an interesting question because Nightwing is younger and in his prime, right? I'm, my age, and I'm fighting crime at my age. Batman is older. He's on the brink of retirement. He's in a different, he's a different age to the Batman that we're used to seeing. So, in terms of in the Titans show, I think it's a great concept. This idea that Nightwing, fights Batman, but it's not. I don't think it's ever going to be our show because of the age differences of Dick Grayson and Bruce Wayne. Last season we saw Dick fight Bruce, and that was cool because it was really Bruce teaching Dick to step up a notch and to be the superhero that he was born to be. And so, that was more of an education mentor-student fight, but, nevertheless, kind of cool to see. Question here from @Womi10. How much training did it take to become ready to play Nightwing? It's a good question. Before season 1, I trained here on the Gold Coast in Australia on the Aquaman set. Those guys were kind enough to let me into their space and to train with some of their stunt guys. And that was a 2-week intensive, 4 to 5 hours a day kind of thing, where I learned Kali sticks, bow staff, hand-to-hand combat, knife fighting, and I did my own kickboxing on the side. And after that, it kind of just took its own shape, from doing the show and learning Corey time and time again, and the compounding effect of learning those skills is kind of how I became Nightwing. There is an acrobatic element to this, that my stunt double Mustafa Bullet is amazing and can do a lot of those moves. So he is an integral part of the character of Nightwing. But the choreography, sorry, and the moves have really developed from doing it time and time again from season 1, 2, and 3. Hey guys, a question here from KylerPar_04. Besides Nightwing and Robin, do you have any favorite DC superhero characters? I do. One of my favorite characters is Superboy, played by Josh Orpin in Titans. The reason I like Superboy is because he has a very clear character storyline that is half good and half evil. And, you know, Josh does such a great job at constantly struggling to do the right thing. And, you know, that inner turmoil and kind of that inner battle of, you know, trying to, you know, be a part of the Titans and you know, listen to the good side, is just something that I personally respond to and, you know, love that kind of constant tension. Will we be getting enough Dickery content this season to survive the winter? From Void Tano. I don't know what you mean by Dickery content. I think you may be looking at the wrong show for the kind of content that you're after to survive your kind of winter, Void Tano. But what do I say to that? Yes, I guess. I guess. A whole season worth of Dickery content. Enjoy.